Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. So if this is the first time you're coming across my channel, stay a while, don't leave me, baby. Feel the vibe and subscribe. Let me stop playing with you guys. We are here to review the season premiere of Greenleaf, okay? Season 5, episode 1, called The First Day. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so the episode starts off with Bishop and Grace walking through the church, a little sad and reminiscent because the church is about to be torn down. So Gigi wants to know why her dad made them come there because the sight is just heartbreaking. So Bishop basically tells her that it's just better to be there when it happens because it's good for closure. But when he sees the cross being mishandled, he tells Gigi that maybe she was right and it was a mistake coming there. Next, Kerissa continues to hang this new information about the Greenleaf mansion over Jacob's head. She's telling him that she has proof that Jacob's parents stole the mansion from Miss Davis, but Jacob isn't buying it. Kerissa tells him that Mac's name is on the will as an executor, and that's all the proof she needs. So Jacob says, so if I don't, what about this will, you're going to do what? And Kerissa says, if you don't take care of me in this divorce like no woman in the state of Tennessee has been taken care of, we'll find out. And I'm just like, Kerissa, I've never really liked her, to be honest. I've never liked how she would act or what she stood for in the past. So I'm just hoping that this stunt that she's trying to pull backfires on her, okay? Just like Charity's betrayal against the family backfired on her behind. Anyway, so Jake says, all right, get your attorney and make the proposal. Next, Aaron sits down with Gigi and AJ to let them know that AJ has been cleared of all charges brought up against him, okay? Because they caught the guy who really committed the robberies. So Aaron shows Gigi the picture of the suspect who Aaron says was also shot and killed last night. So Gigi looks at the picture and she has a flashback of when she saw the guy walking on the property. So she's looking a little concerned, and so is AJ. And all I could think at this moment is, I hope that wasn't her real son who got killed, because that would be messed up. Anyway, Aaron notices that neither Grace or AJ seem relieved or happy. So he's like, should I call the cops and tell them to reopen the case? He's joking, but this is not the response he was expecting. So AJ just says, thanks for letting me know. Then he gets up and walks away. So, AJ and Grace are probably feeling guilty at this moment because they both know that AJ really did rob that pharmacy. But Aaron tells Grace that the dude that was caught and is now dead really did rob those other stores. So Grace thanks Aaron, then asks if she could keep the dude's mugshot picture and the newspaper article. Later, Grace shows up unannounced to Darius's office because she wants a favor. Next, Jake is going over the will with Aaron, and he wants to know if the will is really proof of anything. So Aaron tells him that legally, it's probably not proof of anything, but it's best for Jacob to get his hands on the will that superseded that one, just so he could see if somebody else was the beneficiary. And I'm telling you guys, having a lawyer, friends, or family member is good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Anyway, so after Aaron leaves, Jacob tells Shuri to call Joyce Meyer. And I was like, Joyce Meyer? I gotta hear this. But when the voicemail picked up, it was not Joyce. And Jake tells someone named Alexa to call him. So I'm like, that's funny. Siri, call Joyce Meyer. Alexa, call Jacob. Anyway, it was just weird. But so clearly Joyce Meyer is a code name in Jake's phone for the old chick he was having an affair with back in the day. Okay. So next, we're going to just skip over Charity's little shenanigans she pulled at the board meeting with Phil and hop on over to Jake going over to Alexa's place. So he sees that Alexa has a daughter, and I automatically knew the baby was Jake's. Like, this is what I was thinking in my head before I saw the rest of the episode. Anyway, so meanwhile, Grace wants Darius to look into the suspect that was killed last night. Grace says he hasn't been ID'd yet, and she just wants to know who he is. So Darius tells her that he could reach out to this guy who covers the DA's office. He then tells Grace that it was good seeing her. And I'm just like, oh, it's a shame they didn't make it because I really wanted them to work out. Anyway, so next, Carlton comes into Charity's office to tell her that he quits. He says he ain't signed up to sing no pink berry hymns in a gym every Sunday. So Charity takes this as bad news, okay? She starts crying and tells him that she wishes she could quit too. But when Carlton says, "Why are you crying? You're finally AP. This is what you've been wanting your whole life," Charity doesn't have anything to say because she basically sold her soul to get that AP position, okay? And now that she has it, she wishes she didn't. Anyway, so next, Jake is with Alexa and he's trying to see if she has any idea where Mac's old paperwork is, right? Where it ended up. But as he sits there, he keeps looking at this little girl who is clearly half black, and you can tell he wants to ask about the child's father. So first he asks if Alexa's married, and she's like, "No, do you see a ring on this finger?" So Jake says, "Is she?" And Alexa says, "Yours? I wouldn't have kept yours." And I know Jake wanted to flip and do a woo-hoo right then and there, but he kept it cool and thanked Alexa for her time. But as he was leaving, I guess she had a little change of heart, and she tells him that Mac kept a storage locker over on Union and that Jake might want to check it out. He thanks Alexa again and apologizes for the way things ended between them. Next, Grace goes to talk to AJ to basically try to get him to be happy about the fact that he's free and that he's not going back to jail. But AJ says, "I did it and we both know I did it. So what will they do when they find out I did it?" Grace tells him that the case is closed and she feels bad about the guy that paid the price, but she can't pretend that she's not happy that AJ is a free man. She tells him that she wants to go out as a family and celebrate. AJ agrees, but when Grace leaves, he has some sort of meltdown. And I understand him feeling guilty, but I'm just really hoping he's not feeling more guilty because that guy was Grace's real son. You know what I mean? I would really, really hate that. But the way AJ is acting right now, it's making me nervous. So now Clara and Misty come over to complain to the bishop about what's going on in the church. And God bless the bishop for not telling these ladies, "I told you so." Okay. But nevertheless, the ladies want to get their church back, and the bishop just simply leads them in prayer. Next, Grace gets a call from Darius, who says he did an interview with Bob Whitmore and wants to meet in person to share some pertinent information with her. Next, Sophia goes over to see Dante, and Nikki is there. Sophia's wondering what's going on, and Dante says, "Well, you said to figure it out, so that's what we're doing." So Sophia says, "Are you guys getting back together?" And Dante says no. But long story short, Sophia says she's hurt, but she's not mad because nothing ends that quickly. And I was just a little confused by the situation because I thought he really liked Sophia. I was honestly waiting for him to say that Nikki was pregnant or something by the way he was acting and how Nikki was sitting there looking all sad. But I'm glad we didn't get that, okay? Because Insecure gave us enough of that crap. Anyway, next, Bishop sits down and talks to May and tells her that the conversation with Misty and Clara inspired him and got him all fired up to start a brand new church. So May says, "How do you propose we do this?" And Bishop says, "Well, first we can start by going down to City Hall and getting married right now." So next, Charity goes over to Phil's place to give back the engagement ring. Phil tells her to keep it as a reminder that he still loves her. So Charity says, "If you love me, why are you doing this?" And he says, "Marks is making me. If I don't marry Judy, I don't get the job." He then tells her that he's been working at this thing for over 20 years and he doesn't know how to give it up. So Charity says, "But you know how to give me up." Well, he actually says he doesn't know how to let it go, and Charity says, "But you know how to let me go," right? And my thing was just with this whole scene, it was like, okay, Charity, you should have understood where Phil was coming from. Now, I'm not saying that Phil is right at all in what he's doing to Charity, but I'm just saying that Charity just backstabs her whole family to get a position she wanted for years now, okay? So when it's done to her, she doesn't get it. And to me, that's like, wow, some people just really have a lot of nerve. But it's like, oh, well, girl, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now you know how your family feels. Anyway, so next, Grace sits down with Darius and finds out that Bob's whole purpose in Memphis is to run for Senate, and that having a multiracial church would make him unbeatable. So Grace says, I wish I knew this before I lost my job. But Darius tells her to have a little faith. Then she gets a text that she's invited to her parents' wedding. Then we see in the next scene that Jake and Kerissa are also getting ready for the wedding. And Kerissa tells Jake that her lawyer is drawing up a template for the things she's going to need. When she asks if Jake wants to use his own lawyer, he tells her that one lawyer is fine and it doesn't make any sense to waste money on a fight, especially mine. Then he walks away, and this clearly bothers Kerissa. And at this point, I'm not sure if she really wants to go through with the divorce. I mean, I think she wants Jake to fight for her, but in my opinion, getting chlamydia was like unforgivable to Jake because she didn't even bother to have the decency to protect herself. Anyway, so everybody is meeting up outside and Sophia shows up a little late and Zora has some smart remark, of course. And I'm honestly so over Zora, how she's always mistreating Sophia. And I'm just ready for Sophia to punch Zora in the face, guys, okay? Not just any old punch, like a knockout punch, because she's seriously a freaking bully. Anyway, so when Gigi pulls up, she asks Sophia where AJ is. Sophia tells her that she looked in his room and he wasn't there. So while Gigi goes to look for AJ, Charity pulls up and she sees that her parents aren't joking about getting married. So Bishop tells her to get in the car, and Charity says, you really want me to come? And Bishop says, Charity, get in the car. Then he gives her a hug and a kiss, and she gets in the car. Bishop is such like a sweet, loving father. Anyway, so meanwhile, Gigi is in AJ's room and his bathroom door is locked. So she's definitely in a panic now because as she's banging on the door and calling his name, he doesn't answer, right? So she busts the door open and finds AJ on the floor with his wrist cut. And it's like a pretty sad scene, guys, okay? Because, you know, Grace is like screaming. She needs help. And she's like, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And the only thing that I keep going back to, guys, is that he was feeling guilty because he wasn't her real son. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. And I also hope he's not dead. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens, okay? Next week, from the previews, you know, you see her sitting down talking with Charity, and Charity is like, oh, I lost a child too. I guess in a way that's letting us know that he probably did die, or maybe his life is hanging in the balance right now, and Charity is just saying stupid stuff like, oh, you know, I lost a child too, you know, I don't know. But they don't normally just kind of like, I guess, let us know stuff from previews. Like, they be trying to make things look a certain way in a preview. You know, they try to make it seem like it's what it's not, is basically what I'm trying to say. But I hope he's not dead. But if he is, guys, then that means that if he's not her real son is dead. And either way, they're both dead. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on this episode and what you think about this whole AJ situation, okay? I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Thank you. Take care. Be blessed. Bye-bye.